Here at KACK, I'm your host, Wax Paper, here with a news story that's hit national headlines. A set of twins, whom in the past 34 years have shared just about everything, even before they were born.
They only heard one heartbeat. They think that we were laying on top of one another and our hearts were just beating as one.
Kelly McCarthy and her identical twin, Kristen Maurer, are bound for another venture they unfortunately did not plan. During the past 2 years, the identical twins and their husbands have spent a lot of time with doctors. And in December of 2012, 1 week before Kelly was due to give birth to her first child, she was diagnosed with an aggressive form of breast cancer.
You don't even know where to start. I didn't know. Do I have the baby first to see an oncologist first? Do I have surgery first? Trying to plan all those things together was unreal.
Kelly later told CNN, and in an interview with NBC's Kristen Walker, Kelly said,
You're thinking at 60, 65 you're going to get your cancer diagnosis and something like that. Not at 32, and definitely not when you're pregnant.
During the same interview with NBC, Kelly's twin sister, Kristen, tells us her reaction the day she found out her sister was diagnosed with breast cancer.
Top 3 worst days of my life. I don't think that I stopped sobbing for weeks, it seemed like.
And later telling CNN,
After she was diagnosed, we spent a lot of time focusing on her.
But with the help of her twin sister, who was also pregnant with her first child, Kelly forged ahead, caring for her newborn baby boy and fighting towards recovery. With the haunting memory of being diagnosed, Kelly recalls how Kristen felt.
I remember you just saying, because it was the only thing you said, I can't live without her.
Just mere weeks after Kelly's diagnosis and the birth of her firstborn son, Gray, she began treatment. Being a certified nurse, Kelly became concerned about her sister Kristen. Not only do they share the same genes, they lost their mother earlier that year to colon cancer. Kelly later told NBC,
The nurse and me kept saying, Kristen, get tested.
We sat down, the doctor pulled out the folder and said, You just do everything together, don't you? Kelly lost it.
Kristen later told CNN. Because of Kelly's suspicion and urge to have her sister also get tested, Kristen was also diagnosed with cancer.
Kelly was more upset than I was during my diagnosis, and likewise when she was diagnosed, I was a mess, really bad.
Kristen's cancer was caught at a very early stage, and she decided to undergo a double mastectomy. Kristen Maurer tells NBC's Kristen Walker,
You may have saved your sister's life. You may have helped to save her.
She did, absolutely, hands down. She did save my life.
As of November 2013, after Kelly McCarthy finished her chemo surgery and radiation, she took the steps to undergo breast reconstructive surgery. Overseeing the surgery, University of Chicago's Dr. David Song thought of an innovative way to make this surgery happen.
There's a big genetic component to breast cancer now, and obviously identical twin sisters have the exact genetic makeup. One's own tissues will be received by the other twin as the exact part of their own bodies. Both are cancer-free, both are recovering well, and very sort of elated at the situation.
Because Kelly doesn't have enough skin and tissue for both breasts, Dr. Song is going to borrow tissue from one identical twin to another to reconstruct a breast.
That's the ideal situation where you don't have to use anti-rejection medication because you really have a part of you living with your identical twin.
A procedure only done 3 to 4 times in medical history. Kelly said in an interview with NBC's Kristen Walker,
She did it to heal me on the outside, obviously, but it's healed me so much internally as well. It's amazing to have a part of her on me.
It's really humbling to know that she's going to go through a lot of pain for me. What better person to do it than her?
We call it twin healing. Twin healing. We've always said that.
And just a week after the surgery, on November 19th, NBC's Natalie Morales has a live interview with Kelly McCarthy about after the surgery.
Kelly, how are you feeling? The surgery was a week ago, and as we just heard, it wasn't an easy one.
No, it wasn't easy, but I'm doing very well now. Kristen came over for the first time yesterday, so I was feeling amazing yesterday.
Well, Kristen, when a loved one goes through something, often we feel so helpless. And here's a situation where way you could really help your sister. What did that mean to you?
Oh, it was amazing. You know, just to be able to help rebuild her self-esteem and to put her back to normal, or a new normal, as we call it now, it was a great feeling.
And this is a case where you helped each other in so many ways. But Kelly, you're the one who talked Kristen, as I understand it, into going to see the doctor, which led to her breast cancer diagnosis. How did you convince her to go when she didn't want to?
I was going to use the twin card, and I said if she didn't go get tested, I was going to call and make the appointment under her name for her.
And there you have a remarkable story of two twins and the devotion they have for one another on their fight to recovery. I'm your host, Wax Paper. This has been your national news update here on KACK Rooster Radio.